If you want to create the outcome, you have to stop the resistance.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Worldwide. Thank you so much for showing up and for being here. Today's episode is all about daring to dream, realizing your dreams and what you want, and then living them. I sat down with Kim Daly, who is a top franchising expert and consultant. She is the creator of the Daly Plan, which is a millionaire mindset coaching program. She's also the host of Kim Daly TV, and she's an international bestselling co-author. And yes, we talked about franchising, but in the framework of dreaming and getting over your limiting beliefs and realizing your dreams. Kim talked about this millionaire mindset. She shared her aha moments and even an outer body moment and getting rid of resistance, which is so present in a lot of our lives. So I could go on and on about Kim and who she is and what she does, but I think it's time for you to tune in and to hear her journey and her advice for you. Kim, welcome. Welcome to Women Worldwide.
Thank you, Deirdre. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's so nice to be chatting with you today. All right, let's start off just with maybe you sharing a little bit about what led you to a career as a top franchise consultant.
I know, because it's not like you wake up and go, oh, yeah, I can't wait to be a franchise consultant, right? Nobody ever says that in their list of being a doctor or a fireman or a policeman, right? Well, neither did I. In fact, I was on track to go to medical school and to become a doctor because I had a heart that just wanted to help people. That was kind of my goal when I was younger. And I answered a classified ad in the newspaper.
The newspaper.
Yeah. Remember classified ads?
Yes.
It was for a part-time summer job for a franchise consulting company, not the company that I've been a part of for the last 20 years. But it was my first foray into learning about franchising. And I found this industry where people help people wake up every day to live their dreams. It was so inspiring. It was entrepreneurial, and it just made my heart sing. And I was so excited that I never went back to med school, which my dad predicted when I took that job. You're never going to go to med school. And I said, oh, yes, I am, Dad. My whole life has been about preparing for med school, but dads are always right.
Yes, dads are always right. You know what's funny, Kim, is that every so often someone will approach me and say, oh, are you interested in a franchise? And I don't think twice about that. And maybe I'm like many other people who just don't know. So what do we need to know about franchising, and why would somebody like me or somebody who has a business want a franchise?
It's such a great question. So a franchise business at its core, the reason it's such a great question is there's so many myths and misconceptions about what franchising is and what it is not. And in fact, Deirdre, this is exactly why I have a business and a YouTube channel to share information. So, the gist of that is that, and now I forgot your question. So, why do you want to look at franchising?
Why?
So the gist is that, like, a franchise business, it buys down the learning curve to starting a business, and it buys up the ramp up speed. So the average person who has no business experience and maybe not an idea, like there are many people out there who love the idea of owning their future. They love the idea of owning their quality of life, their time away from work, their finances, but they don't have an idea for what would I start if I owned a business, or I don't have any business experience. I don't feel qualified to own a business. They can come to franchising and find their future. So it allows everybody the opportunity to take a proven business plan, be mentored by people who can teach you how to be successful, and then to execute on that proven plan to create an outcome. And, franchising is not foolproof. People still fail,
Sure.
because it's still up to the owner of the business to execute on the plan. So the plan works, but the question for the investor or the owner is, how well are you going to work that plan? And as the Daly coach, I'll take it one step further and say, success in your business is based on the size of your goals, your motivation, like all the things that internally you can control. People look for success outside of themselves and they blame their lack of success on things outside of themselves.
Mm.
But after 20 plus years of being a business owner, you might know this. I definitely know this, that success is always an inside job.
That's a really great point. All that external, if you're blaming, then you're not really finding what truly is inside and what you can capitalize on or what you can change and to make things better. Going to back to your point about being mentored and having that plan and being a franchisee, is it easier for somebody to go that route who doesn't have the business experience than it is for somebody who has the business but wants to franchise their own business? Maybe that's a hard question.
Yeah, so I think it's two separate questions. So I'll start with the latter part. So if you have an existing business and you're thinking about franchising, I'm not the consultant that helps people turn their businesses into franchises, but I certainly know people. Like if you're interested, if you're listening and you're interested, I can help lead you to those people. But what I do know is what the investor will buy. So oftentimes you go to franchise attorneys to turn your business into a franchise. And of course, they'll be like, yeah, let's franchise your business.
Of course.
But yeah, but that doesn't mean that what you have is actually viable or
Right.
at a stage to where other people want to be the first franchisees in that system. So after 20 years of working with hundreds of franchises, I know what investors will buy and what they won't buy. So I can totally give people advice when they're in that stage. If they come to me saying, I'm ready to franchise, most of the time I talk them out of it. Sounds funny, but like,
I think that's honest. That's good.
I know, but the number one thing I say to them, look, is when you're being a franchisor is a really hard job.
Yes.
It's a really big business. It's a really big job because listen, the people that are coming to you are investing their life savings into your dream. They're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like teenagers, which I have two of those. No
Yes.
matter how much you do for them, it's never enough,
Right.
right? When it's all
And
going
they're
good,
always
they want
right.
all the credit, and when it's going bad, it's your fault. So, do you really want to franchise your business now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, whether you want to franchise your business or you want to go into an existing business, there is something about being inspired. So Kim Daly TV, right, is all
Yeah.
about being inspired. Talk about your show, your channel, and what you're trying to do there.
Oh, my YouTube channel is like the greatest thing I've ever done professionally, personally, everything. So it's Kim Daly, my last name, Daly, kimdaly.tv. Obviously, it's on YouTube. So I started my channel. Actually, this was an adaptation due to 2020.
Mm.
So those of us business owners saw ourselves in times we had never seen before, and it was either adapt or die. Since I didn't want to die, I could
Take
no
the
longer
former.
travel. Yeah, I could no longer travel around the country and bring people together, which is how I generated investors who wanted to use my service to find a franchise. I turned that camera on, and man, am I so glad that that adaptation happened. I probably would have got there eventually, but I'm so happy that we're here now because, like I said, it's the greatest thing. So my YouTube channel is really all about sharing the good news in franchising, sharing the facts, dispelling myths, helping people break through their limiting beliefs about what franchising is and what it is not, sharing stories from the real world, interviewing franchisees who dared to take the leap and change their life. Deirdre, you asked me a minute ago before I started talking about franchisors, but the candidates that I work with are people that are coming from W-2 jobs, they're in career transition, or maybe they're just ready to leave corporate America, and they're looking for a bridge. Like, but how many people, by the time you're ready to like, that you've had enough of corporate America, you
Right.
probably have kids in high school, private school, college tuition on your mind. You can't just afford to like frivolously quit your job in the
No, it's
middle of
hard
the
to make
video.
that break.
Right. So a franchise business can afford an opportunity for an owner to come in as what we call a semi-absentee investor. So they can bridge, I can have one foot in corporate America to keep my salary and my financial life stable while I'm building cash flow for my future. And that's something that an entrepreneur can't do typically. It can't do well, but in franchising, we can do well. So there are people that are in career transition, they're investors, they're real estate investors looking for diversification. So my YouTube channel is just one content rich, fun place where I get to share all kinds of tips, advice, stories to inspire people to dream, and hopefully to dream about starting a franchise business.
Yes, absolutely. So maybe you could share one of those moments throughout your career where something happened and it was the aha or the uh-oh, but you learned something and it just stuck with you. Do you have one of those moments?
Oh yeah, I have lots of those moments. Okay, so I one of the greatest things that's come out of Kim Daly TV is, I've been helping people realize their dreams for 20 years. And in May, one day, it was in our 10th video shoot. I was having this like out of body experience in the middle of shooting a video. I was thinking about when I was a 15-year-old girl. So I grew up in the Miss America pageant organization. I've always like dreamed of being on stage and motivating people, but I had limiting beliefs about how to become a motivational speaker. It's a crowded space. I mean, how do you actually do that anyway, right? I mean, why do I have a voice that anybody's going to want to hear? And then you have to travel all the time, and I'm a homebody. And so anyway, we make videos for Kim Daly TV in my house. I don't even have to travel to do it. So here I am in the middle of creating this inspiring, hopefully inspiring, motivating video about franchising where I'm an expert and I have a voice. And I'm having this out of body experience thinking about a flashback when I was 15. And I knew that I wanted to be a motivational speaker, but I didn't see how I could do that. Oh my gosh, Deirdre, it was
What a
like,
moment.
it was unbelievable. After the video shoot was over, and it was actually later that night, I turned on my camera, and I'm not a huge lover of handheld videos, that you make to your
Yes.
iPhone, but I just had something more to say. And the video, you can find it on Kim Daly TV. But I wanted to share, like, I'm making this video to share this out of body moment that I had today in the middle of making videos for you. About living your best life and living your dreams. I found myself smack dab in the middle of living my dream. And so the point of the video I was making, I said, this video isn't about me just, oh yeah, Kim Daly's living her dream. The point is to dream. Because if I did not dream the dream, then I couldn't find myself smack dab in the middle of living the
The
dream.
dream.
You can't live the dream
Exactly.
if you don't dare to dream.
So is that the key? Because you mentioned limiting beliefs twice. And that is definitely something that many of us struggle with over our lives. Is it because we don't dare to dream? What is the point in time when all of a sudden it clicks? When you're able to move past that limiting belief to the place of belief?
It's a really great question. And
Hard
I don't know if I
question.
have the exact answer to that, but I will say that, yes, I think you have to have the dream. You have to spend time, imagining what you want in your life. I think one of the hardest questions to truly answer, is what do I want?
Mm,
Like, it seems so obvious. Well, yeah, I want money. Yeah, but for what?
for what? Why?
Right? I want more passion. To do what? Right? So what do I really want? And when we get clear and specific about what we want, and we stop arguing for limitations or stop talking against ourselves, which is what we all do. I want to make more money, but I don't believe that, we find ourselves in those. But if you want to create the outcome, you have to stop the resistance and just dare to
Yes.
dream,
You
right?
just hit such a sweet spot. Stop the resistance. It's allowance. Let it in. We stand in the way. That's what I'm finding. And it's also it's allowing yourself to feel good, to have a better feeling. And I don't know, Kim, maybe when we have that disbelief, rather than diving into it harder and picking it apart and then sharing it with everybody and talking about it, if we just button up for a second and maybe don't think along those lines, it wouldn't be so much disbelief and we would turn it more into belief.
Relating that to business ownership, Deirdre, it's 100% true. How many business owners worry about failing in a business? And so what do? They talk about all the reasons their business isn't going to work. And I'm like, how about
Right.
we talk about why it will work? Because as you know, you're going to recognize where this came from. The problem and the solution are on two ends of a stick, right?
Of the
Two different
spectrum.
ends. Yes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
by
Yes.
law of attraction, like attracts like. If you're going to talk about the problem, then you're going to attract more problem. If you're going to talk about the solution, then you're going to attract the answers to the problems that you want. So you can't be talking about what you don't want and expect to have a business that you love.
Right.
Like,
And
it's
get what you
very
do want.
shocking to me. Yeah. And I spend a
Exactly.
lot of time coaching my candidates. So my business is a free service that helps people find the right franchises based on their interests and their goals and their finances. But my real service to people is in my back end coaching while we're trying to select the right franchise, is teaching them how to open their mind to the possibility.
Mm.
First, the possibility of the franchise that they could own, because people have limiting beliefs that, oh, I don't know anything about that, or I have to be the one who can do the work because I can't rely on other people. It's all limiting beliefs. And then it's the limiting belief of, yeah, but can I actually be successful doing this? Why? When you look at the track record of the franchise, if all the other people have been successful, why are you going to be in the small percentage of the people who are not successful? Well, can I dare to dream to have $1 million business? Why not?
Oh
And
gosh.
so through my millionaire mindset coaching program, I can teach people how to build what I call, get ready for this, the Daly Plan, which is a daily plan
Oh, I like
where you
it.
break, yeah, where you break down your big $1 million goal into bite-sized daily goals. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This is
Right.
another aha moment that I had in my business about 10 or 12 years ago, where I realized I was focused on all the wrong things at the expense of the right things. And when I got focused on the right things, then my whole life changed and I became a history making franchise owner in my business. And it's that moment that I share with all of my candidates, because I want to help you avoid being average or underperforming and go right to the top of the pack. Once you know where to focus your mind and your attention, success is easy, right? I'll say
Mm.
it's simple. It's never easy, but it's simple,
Right, because you
right?
don't go into business saying, I want to be average. I just want to be
No,
mediocre. No,
no.
absolutely not. And I do agree. Sometimes when we set our sights on, let's call it a stretch goal, these big goals, it's so daunting. Those process goals in between, and that's your daily plan. I love the millionaire mindset. That is beautiful. So tell me, what does we talked a lot about inspiration and dreaming and what you do. What does success mean to you personally at the end of each day? What is a successful day?
I love that question. So for me personally, but I don't think that I'm different from a lot of other people, success isn't about the money. Like, the money is the measure. So when
Mhm.
people tell me I want to make a lot of money, I'm like, for what? Right? So success is the measure. Money is a measure of success. But what is true success? For me, it's owning my freedom, right? I feel totally free. I feel able to live the life that I want. Success is, so it's owning that, it's feeling peaceful, right? Knowing that every day when I wake up, the choices that I make are made for my benefit, for the benefit of my family, and that I can do things that align with who I am, that my integrity isn't being compromised, my values aren't being compromised, that how I invest my time every day is exactly how I choose to invest my time. I think that's the best definition of success. And it's kind of like when I tell people, I'm not selling franchising. I'm selling freedom, freedom from having to work from someone else, freedom from, somebody else controlling your quality of life or when you can take vacation, financial freedom, so many definitions of freedom, but it's always freedom. And I think truly successful people feel free because freedom is abundance, and abundance is ultimately it's joy, it's love, it's peace. It's what it all funnels either up to or down to, whatever way your funnel is turned.
Yes, there are so many people who are listening and watching right now who are just thinking, I want to be free. I want to feel peace. I want to have my integrity at the end of the day. And it is, Kim, it's all about choice. It's the choices that we make. Those choices are compounded. Make a good choice. What happens? More good and good and good. What's the opposite? Make bad choices. Well, there you go. You know what happens. Fascinating. All right. Well, I can hardly believe that I'm going to ask you for parting advice. You've shared so much already, but maybe you can just let all the women worldwide listeners and people watching, how can they feel more inspired, dream big, and realize their dreams?
If I had parting advice to give, it would be literally what I've already said. The goal, of all of our life is always joy. Everybody is seeking love and joy. How do you get there? You get there by dreaming, because as children, like if you watch the little children are playful. They get lost in their
They're
imaginations,
curious.
playing all day long. But why as adults do we stop living in our imagination? Why do we stop believing that things are possible, right? Why do we not believe in the impossible? Magic is real, but it's real because we dare to dream. My parting advice is just to never stop dreaming, never stop believing that anything that you desire to be, have, or do is possible, because it absolutely is possible. And if you want proof, you can call me and I will share some stories with you that blow my mind. I think they'll blow your mind. Things that I've accomplished, like
Yes.
with very little effort, only because I dared to dream them, talk about them, act as if they were already mine. And then one day I woke up and somebody was bringing it to me, or it arrived in my life, or it was offered to me. I attracted it to me merely because I said it, I believed it, and I did not talk against myself.
It's amazing what the universe brings when you believe. That was great advice. Thank you so much. And lastly, Kim, where can people find out more about you and your work?
You definitely got to check out kimdaly.tv for all things franchising, business ownership, mindset coaching, inspiration, a little bit of fun. I hope that you'll do it. If you like my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And from there, it'll lead you back to my website, thedalycoach.com, and you can learn my bio and read, find out more information about my free service.
Awesome. Kim, thank you so much. You are an inspiration. You're a lot of fun to chat with. I hope we can continue this conversation. And I want to thank all of you for tuning into Women Worldwide. You know where to find me. You can always find me on my YouTube channel. I'm on LinkedIn, and also I'm at Dee Breckenridge on Twitter. Okay, friends, until our next episode, stay focused, energized, and feeling empowered. Thank you.